Right. Right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, online students. Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you see the screen? Kindly please respond to the chat for me, guys. Online students, please check. Can you hear me? Can you see the screen? Please respond to the chat for me. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. A very, very good morning, guys. Very good morning. So, yes, you can hear me. You can see the screen. All right. Let us start our today's session. So, guys, yes, before starting our today's sessions, as always, let us just try to have a very, very small and a quick recap of the concepts we had covered in our last 3 to 4 days of our session. So, nearly from last 4 days onwards, I guess we started discussing about servlets. When we started, last 4 days, first servlet programming. Okay. So basically we know how to create a servlet. Please tell me, if you want to create a servlet, how many options we are having? Three options. We can implement servlet interface, we can extend generic servlet, and we can extend HTTP servlet also. So when you speak about servlet interface, there are totally abstract methods are there in it. Service, destroy, get servlet info, get servlet context. Like that, there are totally 5 methods are there. Just a second. Okay. Today there are 5 methods are there. And in these 5 methods, 3 are life cycle methods in it, service and destroy. We already know that. And we already created some programs, some applications, like 4 applications, I guess. 4 or 5 applications we already created. So we know how to get the data from the HTML and how to get that data. I mean, how to display the data in the again in the web page by using servlet, by using print writer class. So some methods we have used like request.get parameter, print writer class. You need responder. Yes. So some methods we already use. So first I want you to write some notes regarding those methods. And after that, we'll be speaking about request dispatcher. Please open your notes for me. Go ahead, please. Up to here, we have written a last. Up to here, we have covered in our last notes session. Now, today, please keep us heading as summary of summary of life cycle and summary of life cycle and object creation. Please keep a small siding as web application development, web application development, and note down a small point for me. When a web application is deployed, when a web application is deployed, servlet context object is created. When a web application is deployed, servlet context object is created and shared across the and shared across the entire application. Servlet context object is created and shared across the entire application. Now, please keep your setting as just a small setting. Servlet initialization. Servlet initialization. Next point. When a servlet is loaded, when a servlet is loaded and initialized, servlet config object is created. When a servlet is loaded and initialized, servlet config object is created to store to store initialization parameters to store initialization parameters for for that particular servlet for that particular servlet. Okay, guys, right now you came across two objects. What are those two objects? Tell me. Just now you wrote servlet context. What is the first object? Servlet context. Please underline that. Please underline servlet context. And second one is servlet config. Okay. Now, please listen to this very clearly. Servlet context object context. This is also very one of the popular interview point of view question. What is the difference between servlet context and servlet config? Let me ask a simple question. Please answer this. When you're speaking about servlet interface, I repeat, when you're speaking about servlet interface, you know that totally we are having five methods are there. What are those? Init, service, destroy, get servlet info, get servlet config. Now I'm speaking about init method. Init method. Init method is initialize, I mean initialization. Init method. Init method is a parameterized method or non-parameterized method. How many parameters? What is it? What is it? Servlet config. Servlet config. Right now, you wrote two objects. What are those two objects? First one is, please tell me. First one is servlet context. Second one is servlet config. Now my question is, when when servlet config object will be created? When? Nana, one more time, Ra. Literally, there are three life cycle methods are there. Na? What are those? Init, service, destroy. I told you these three life cycle methods will be getting executed in the same order. Na? Whenever init method is getting called, obviously for that init method, you are having a parameter also. What is that parameter? Servlet config. So my question is, when when servlet config object will be created? Whenever a servlet is initialized, whenever a servlet is loaded. You need to respond, Ra? Yes or no? Now, one more time. Right now, just now, you wrote two objects. First one is servlet context. Second one is servlet config. I am speaking about servlet config. Now tell me when servlet config object will be created, when whenever a servlet is initialized or else it is loaded. Am I clear with that? That servlet config object, I repeat, servlet config object will be having information related to that servlet. To that servlet, to that servlet. You know, in our project, we will be having multiple servlets, login servlet, registration servlet, otherwise account servlet. There will be different servlets will be there. For each and every servlet config object will be unique. It will be separate. Am I clear with that? For example, login servlet. When you're speaking about login servlet, what is its URL? login servlet. You'll be having URL pattern na? At the rate web annotation will be at the rate web servlet will be giving a URL na? What is its URL? Information related to that login servlet will be present inside servlet config object. If you are taking registration servlet, this registration servlet config object is different. Am I clear with that? Come on. Now, one more time. Servlet config object is unique for every servlet. One more time. One more time. Servlet config object is unique for every servlet. It will be having that particular servlet information. Servlet context. Servlet context. Whenever we are running our project, like right click, run on server, we will configure our project into our server. Na? Yes, immediately servlet context object will be getting created. Servlet context object. Servlet context object is same for all the servlets in your project. For all the servlets, there will be only one servlet context object. Servlet context object will be having information related to your server. Which version of server you are using, like Apache Tomcat version, how many projects are there, how many projects you have configured into that server. Are you understanding me? Now, please tell me, what is the difference between servlet context and servlet config? How many servlet context objects will be getting created? Only one. When it will be getting created? Whenever we are deploying our project into the server. Servlet config. Servlet config object. How many servlet config objects will be getting created? Sir, how many servlets are there? Those many servlet config objects will be getting created. Okay, when they will be getting created? Whenever that particular servlet is initialized or loaded. And that servlet config object will be having information related to that particular servlet. Am I clear with this? Please. Now, what's the point I told you? Servlet under servlet initialization. When a servlet is loaded or initialized, look at the points, please. When a servlet is loaded and initialized, what will be getting created? What will be getting created? Servlet config object is created to store, please read, to store initialization parameters of that particular servlet. Remember, servlet config object is unique for every servlet. Servlet context object will be shared throughout the project. There is only one servlet context object. Am I clear with this? All right. See, in our coming classes, we'll use this. We'll use this concept, servlet context and servlet config. There is literally just a second. Give me a minute. Just a second. See here, separate concept is there. Servlet context, and after that we'll be speaking about servlet config. Again, at the time I will ask you. So please make sure to remember this. One more time I am saying this. When you're speaking about, just a second. When you're speaking about servlet context, there will be only one object which will be shared throughout the entire project. Servlet config is unique for every servlet. Please keep an setting as handling a request. Handling a request. Note on a small point for me. When a client makes a request, when a client makes a request, okay, the servlet request and servlet response objects are created. Same point as the same. When a client makes a request, the servlet request and the servlet request and servlet response objects are created. automatically by the server. Automatically by the server. Next point. The servlet process the requests. Yeah, of course, we know that. The servlet process the request inside the braces, write servlet request. req dot get parameter, request dot get parameter. So servlet process the request, servlet request, and generates a response. And generates a response. That is servlet response. That's it. And after that, please write methods execution. Note down these 3 lines for me. So get parameter method, of course, it is used to retrieve client submitted data. Set content type specifies the type of the response, text or HTML. And get writer method is used to send the response data back to the client. Go ahead, 3 points, please. Done? Okay. I guess it's completed. Now, guys, I have a small question. Just a second. Okay. For example, okay, just let us consider like this. Okay. Now, for example, this is, tell me a name. Kishan, no, no, don't Kishan, any other name. Pratik. Okay, Prathik. Is it spelling correct? PRA? Pratik. Is it okay? Yes or no? Okay, good, great. Now, okay, Pratik, who is Pratik by the way? Yeah, good. Okay, now Pratik went to Naresh IT main campus. Main campus. Yeah, he went to Naresh IT building. Of course, everyone you went for inquiry, na? Whenever you went to Naresh IT, there would be a person, uh, who is going to receive you. Person will be standing at the, what is that balcony? And let's consider that that person name is something like Raju. He's actually trying to, he will receive and he will ask you, sir, what do you need? Pratik will say that I want to learn Java. Okay. Now, there are actually like two teams are there. Let's consider like that. Two teams. One, two, three. Now here also, okay. This is Java team. Counselors. I'm speaking about counselors. And this is Python, Python team. Just counselors, okay? Now Raju will ask Pratik, what do you need, sir? Pratik will say that, sir, I want to learn Java. I want to know the information about Java. Now, what Raju will do? Raju will forward Pratik request to Java department. Okay. So Pratik will directly speak with Java team and this particular person's Java counselors will be giving a response. Yes or no? Once Pratik work is completed here, he will not again go back to Raju. Now, please listen to this very clearly. Pratik is having a request, QUST request. Okay, he is having a request. Now, that request is forwarded. Okay, what is it? FOWARDED. Okay, that request is forwarded to another person. Again, let me rephrase it. Pratik is a client. He is having a request. That request is first handled by servlet SRVLET, servlet 1. Are you understanding me? Please respond. Pratik is having a request. That request is first handled by servlet 1. Now, servlet 1 is actually forwarding that request to SCRV servlet 2. Let me go like this. Servlet 2. Now, who is giving the response to the Pratik? Servlet 1 or Servlet 2? Please respond. Servlet 2. This is actually known as forward communication. Forward communication means, for example, just let me try to keep it like this. Okay. Please give me a minute. Now, here, what is happening? First, client CLIENT. Client will be sending a request to CRV LED servlet 1. Now, servlet 1 will forward that request to servlet 2. Just a second, please give me a minute. Okay. Now, client will be uh, okay. Client will be sending a request to servlet 1. Servlet 1 will be forwarding that request to servlet 2. Now, what servlet 2 will be doing? Servlet 2 will be giving the response back to the client. Servlet 2 will be giving the response back to the client. This type of communication, this type of communication, just a second. Okay. is known as forward communication. FORWARD, forward communication. Forward communication. Okay. So here client will be actually trying to send a request. Just a second. Okay. Client will be sending a request directly to the servlet one. Servlet one will, what is that? Please tell me, what is that? Forward that request to servlet 2, and servlet 2 will generate the response. SPONC. Servlet 2 will be directly generating the response back to the client client request. In this process, once servlet 1 forwarded the request, its work is completed. I hope you are understanding me, right? Come on. This is forward communication. Okay, okay. Now, again, let me just try to get back here. This is actually forward communication. Please give me a minute. Okay. This is forward communication. Now, same scenario. One more time, I am saying this. Hang on, please. Again, Pratik came. Okay. Now he went to Raju. He requested some, like he want to learn Java. Okay, okay. Now Raju forwarded the request to another team. Okay, his work is completed. He told about Java full stack batch. And again, whenever Pratik is coming back, he forgot to ask something like, what if I want to keep a break? Again, instead of going back, Pratik will ask Raju, are you understanding me? Sir, if I want to keep a break, is there any possibility? Raju will say yes. If the possibility is there, up to 1 year, you can have that. Are you getting me? Now, my question is, Pratik is getting a response. From how many people it is getting a response? Two people, Raju and our team. Sir, Nora. Basically, let us again consider Pratik as a request client. Client send a request. Now, client received a response from two servlets. Yes or no? Nana, for example, here I'm just, please, just a second. I'm having a client here. Okay, just a second. Okay, now here I'm having a client, CLI client. Okay, now client is actually sending a request to servlet one. Okay, now servlet one forwarded that request to servlet two. Okay, done. Fine, fine, fine. Not at all a problem. Just a second. Okay, done, done. Now what is happening here? Just a second. Please give me a minute time here. Client send a request to servlet one. Servlet one forwarded that request to servlet two. Okay. This is request request. This is request, and that request is for RWA forwarded to servlet two. Now, what I'm trying to say, servlet one servlet 1 will be giving a response, RESPONSA. Servlet 1 will be giving a response. Servlet, just a second. Okay. Now, this is the response which is given by servlet 1, and servlet 2 also will be giving a response. Servlet 1 will give a response. Servlet 2 also will be giving a response. Now that response is forwarded back. That response is, just a second, received back by the client. Response will be directly going back to the client. Now, please tell me, client received a response from two servlets, yes or no? This type of communication is known as include communication. include. Servlet 1 is giving a response. Servlet 2 is also giving a response. Both the responses, the response which is given by Servlet 1 and the response which is given by Servlet 2, both those responses are included and directly those are forwarded to the client. Am I clear with that? This type of response, I mean, this type of communication is actually known as include communication. INCLUD. Just a second. INCLUD. Include. Okay. Include communication. Include communication. Let me just try to keep it like this. Include communication. Now, in order to perform forward communication or include communication, we need to use an interface known as request. Please read. What is that? Request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. Basically, request dispatcher, that is an interface with which we'll be able to perform forward and include communication. Guys, read the name slowly. Request dispatcher. It's an interface. So basically what this request dispatcher will do, it will either, please tell me, it will either forward or else it will include the response. As simple as this. I hope you're understanding the point here. So if we want to use request dispatcher or else if we want to send the request servlet to servlet, we can do that. Servlet to servlet, we can do that. Servlet to HTML, servlet to JSP, we can do that. We can basically forward or include the responses. Please respond. Am I clear with that? Respond. Right now, we will be speaking about request dispatcher. Online students, I want you to kindly please respond to the chat for me. Am I clear with this? If possible, please try to respond to the chat, guys. Online students, I want you to respond. Please, if you respond, then only I'll be able to forward. I mean, then only I will be able to continue. Did you understood? Request dispatcher. Very simple. What is request dispatcher? It is an interface which is used to, I repeat, it is an interface which is used to forward the request to multiple servlets. As simple as this. Once we look at the code, then you will be getting more clarity on this request dispatcher. Is that okay? Now, please feel free to keep your siding as request dispatcher interface. Request dispatcher interface. Note on a small point. Request dispatcher interface. Request dispatcher interface is a part of the Java X dot servlet package is a part of the Java X dot servlet package, which is used for which is used for resource to resource communication, resource to resource communication within a web application. Within a web application. Next point. It allows a request. It allows a request to be forwarded to. It allows a request to be forwarded to another resource, to be forwarded to another resource such as not in the braces directly, continue, such as servlet, comma, HTML, or JSP. It allows a request to be forwarded to another resource such as servlet, HTML or JSP. Dot, full stop, dot. And and it allows, next point, I mean it's the next point, and it allows to include the content from, and it allows, what do you mean by it? Request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. And it allows to include the content. It allows to include the content from another resource, in the response. In the response. Next one. It is used to perform. It is used to perform below servlet communications. Below servlet communications. Servlet to servlet. First one is servlet to servlet communication. Second one is servlet to JSP or HTML communication. Servlet to JSP or HTML communication. Next point. Types of servlet communication. Types of servlet communication. We can use request dispatcher. We can use request dispatcher for two types of servlet communications. We can use request dispatcher for two types of servlet communications which are listed below. Which are listed below. Can you please tell me what are those two? Forward communication and include communication, please. Forward communication and include communication. Forward communication and include communication. Please keep the setting as forward communication and write the entire slide. Entire, total. Please keep a setting as forward communication and please go with the entire slide. Easily you will be able to understand whatever you are writing. Just now I explained it. So feel free. Go ahead. Take time. Absolutely okay. Take time. It's not a marathon. So write slowly. No problem. If you're good in the theory, then obviously code will be easy for you. We already know that. After forward, you need to write include, and then we can start with our application code. Syntax plays a very crucial role. Write the syntax correctly, please. I'll be conducting one more workshop, like related to most frequently asked 20 questions in interview, including DSA kind of thing. 20 questions, frequently asked 20 questions, logical programmings like anagrams, how internally hash map will work, like that. I'll try to conduct one more workshop. Feel free to attend. Definitely, I'll improve. I mean, I'll be giving you the date also. Sushant, I'll let you know. Time is there. I'll let you know. Online students, if completed, kindly please message me in the chat. Take time, no risk. If completed, message. Is it done? 1 minute. Okay. I guess it's completed. Now, please keep your setting as Include communication. Include communication, please. That's it. Include communication. Go ahead. Read and write. Whatever I discuss, same is available here. Please read and write. Online students, if completed, please make sure to message me in the chat. Okay. And how many are writing reasons? 1 minute sufficient? 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. One last minute, please. 1 minute. Okay. Now, write like a small question. Please write a small question. How to create, how to create request dispatcher object. How to create request dispatcher object. No, 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 I mean, answer. We can create request dispatcher object by using, we can create request dispatcher object by using get request dispatcher method. Please, eyes on the board. By using get request dispatcher method from servlet request interface. From servlet request interface. That's it. And after that, just please have the syntax. Just have the syntax. Public request dispatcher, get request dispatcher, inside the parenthesis, string path. Enough. All right. Is it done? Okay, guys, let's try to create our application. Feel free to open your laptops, please. I want you to write the code along with me. Go ahead. So already application 4 is done for you. Let's try to create app 5. Right click, go to new, select dynamic web project, app 5, dynamic web module version 4.0. Give a click on next. Next, make sure to select generate web.xml. You know the process. Generate web.xml. Sushant, you're asking why we are using 4.0. I already told you this why we are using 4.0 on Saturday only. 5.0 is for like Java 25. So as of now, we are not using Java 25. So better go with 4.0, right? Now expand SRC main web app, right click on web app and let me, oh, you know what? First we need to add the jar file, build path, configure build path, add external jars. Our jar file is servlet API, apply and close, expand main web app, right click on web app, go to new HTML file. Now our HTML file is index.html, index.html, give a click on next and finish. Yeah, HTML file got created. Now here, just h1 center tag. Okay. Now I'm just going to write form action. I'm going to write ms main servlet method post. Now here enter a number, input type, text, name equal to num. Just I'm trying to write num, br and br. I'm just going to write implementing request dispatcher. Let me just try to write like this. Okay, and break statements. Okay, now after that, enter a number. Now input type equal to submit, type equal to submit, value. Let me just try to write factorial, name equal to choice. Let me just try to write like this. Exactly the same, but right now I want to write even, even. That's it. Done. If you observe, both names I have given choice only. Web.xml. I need to write index.html. Let me remove remaining all this. Just for our information, let me try to execute. Run on server. My server is started. I'm getting a data like this. Enter a number, factorial, and even. I just want to check whether the number is what is. If I want to, for example, I given 5. If I give a click on factorial, I should be able to get the factorial for 5. What is the factorial for 5? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into 0 up to 1. So 120, right? And is 5 even or not? It's not. Did you understand? My intention is that one. I'll be entering a number. Either I will be able to get the factorial or I should be able to get even. So for both these buttons, I gave choice only. Come on. First write up to here. HTML. After that, we'll discuss about servlet. Start. What happened? ఏం ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు నాన్న. Is it done? Okay. Now, right. Index is done. Now let's try to create a servlet. Servlet. So expand Java resources, SRC. Right click on SRC, go to new, select package, com.pack1. Give a click on finish. Now I'm going to write a servlet name as, okay, class MAIN main servlet. Give a click on finish. Main servlet. Okay, now here I'm going to write extds extends generic servlet. Obviously, we need to override the service method req and res service method. I'm overriding a service method. Okay, throws servlet exception. Fine. Now here, okay, annotation. Of course, I need to use the annotation. Let me just try to write @web servlet. And could you please help me? What is the annotation I need to use? What is the value? What is the value? MS. And now here I'm going to write request dot get parameter. I'm going to give the parameter as choice. Choice. Okay. String 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 choice. Okay. Now if choice dot equals factorial, one operation should be happening, else another operation should be happening. Choice dot equals factorial, else one more. Now here what happens? Request dot get request dispatcher. I'm forwarding this to factorial servlet equal to RT belongs to request dispatcher, and after that, RD dot forward request response. Same. I mean, FS means factorial servlet. My intention is factorial servlet. Now, for else, I'll go with E, even servlet. That's it, done. I'm forwarding. Write this first, after that I'll explain. First, write this. First, write this. Make sure write it correctly, please. Uh, is it complete for everyone? How many of you are writing up to here? Up to here. Please feel free. Shall I wait for 2 minutes? 2 minutes, please. 2 minutes, please. Carry on. Index.html is completed now? And online students, if complete, please inform to me, okay? Okay, I hope it's done. Okay, guys, if you observe, just a second. Okay, you know what? If you observe here in our index.html form action, I have given ms main servlet, input type submit, value factorial, value even, name I have used same name for both the buttons. Yes or no? Now, from here, directly our request will be forwarded to main servlet. In the main servlet, I am requesting the parameter. I'm trying to get the parameter choice. For example, if I gave a click on here, Nana, eyes on the board, Ra. Seriously. When I'm explaining, please eyes on the board. If I gave a click on this factorial, what would be the value of this button? Value, factorial. Yes or no? Factorial. And if I gave a click on this button, what would be the value? Even. Yes, that is what exactly I'm trying to get that. Request dot get parameter choice means if I gave a click on this button, what would be the value of this choice? Factorial. If I gave a click on even, its value will be even. Now, choice. For example, if I gave a click on factorial, if choice, what is the value of choice? Please tell me. Factorial dot equals factorial. I'm literally comparing two strings. Okay. Then I'm trying to forward that request to another servlet which is having the same URL pattern /fs. Means my intention is that another servlet name would be factorial servlet. Please tell me, did you understand this? Yes. Now, if it is not, if the choice is not factorial, obviously it would be even. And then I'm trying to forward my request to even servlet. Means, for example, right now I'm having main servlet. Okay. Please wait. Please wait. Don't code. com.pack1. Now I need to write a class factoril factorial servlet finish. Please wait. I need to create one more new class. Tell me. Even servlet finish. Now here I'm having factorial servlet and even servlet. Okay, for factorial servlet, extn is extensor, generic servlet. For even servlet also extensor, generic servlet. Okay, we need to override the methods. Okay, we'll do. Let me just try to write a request, and here I'm going to write response. Request and here let me just try to write response. Now here we need to use the annotation @web servlet. Could you please tell me what is the URL we need to give? Absolutely. Same, please tell me here @web servlet. Tell me what is the URL we need to give? ES. Exactly same as the URL here. Means if user gave a click on factorial, I repeat, if the client gave a click on factorial, then we are forwarding that client request to factorial servlet by using request dispatcher. Am I clear with that? Please help me. Yes or no? Exactly same for even servlet also. That is the reason we are using if else. If the client gave a click on factorial, we'll be going to factorial servlet. If the client gave a click on even, we'll be forwarding that request to even servlet. Then inside this factorial servlet, guys, please help me. Just a second. Inside this, okay, just factorial servlet right now, we are having the request which is getting from the index.html. Now, which value we need to get? Which value? Absolutely. Someone said, who said number? We should be getting the number now. Please try to tell me the code here. Go ahead. Go ahead. You trust me, you can do this. I'm sorry. Inter. No, start from right side of the equal to. Integer dot percent request dot request req dot get parameter. Here what we need to write, num, and here equal to, just let me try to write int I for example, and after that let me just try to take int fact. You know how to get the factorial, you know the logic. Please tell me yes or no. No, respond yes or no. Start first, start up to here, right up to here, create two servlets. Go ahead. And here, let us try to use print writer class also. Okay, response dot get writer, and its return type is equal to pw belongs to print writer, and response dot set content type. What is that? txt text star html. Okay, now I just need to get the factorial. Of course, we know how to get the factorial here, equal to I mean 1. After that, factorial, just let me try to open braces and close braces. I'm going to write I should be less than or equal to 1, I guess. After that, I minus minus fact equal to fact into I guess. And after that, this is the code for factorial. Now, pw dot println, just let me first try to write here double quotes, h1 center tag, h1 close center tag, and here the factorial for also factorial is plus fact, or IAL is fact. Now I want to include also. So I'll do one thing. Request dot get request dispatcher. And I include index dot html dot include request response. Directly I'm writing in one line. Is my logic correct for factorial? Is my logic correct for factorial? Please. See, factorial means I can, for example, 5. I can go with 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Otherwise, I can go with 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. I'm coming in a reverse manner. After that, we need to go with our even servlet also. Now here also. Okay, now I just need to check whether the number is even or not. A very simple, if I modulus 2 equal to 0, even number. That's it. Else odd number. Here also I'm forwarding. That's it. Done. For both the programs, it's there. Both the servlets are on the board. People who completed, feel free to execute and run the program. I mean, run the project. Did you run it? Executing? That's it done. Okay, let me just try to execute now. Saving everything and app 5 right click run on server. I'm actually restarting the server. Let's see. Okay, implementing request dispatcher, enter a number. I'm entering 5. Let me try to get the factorial. Factorial is 1 now. Why I'm getting 1? Let me get back here. Is there any problem here? Please tell me the line number. For loop, line number 25. 23 greater than, sorry. Yeah, greater than or equal to 1. Let's see. Let me save it one more time. Right click, run on server. Okay, 5 factorial. Yeah, 120. And what if I'm trying to give 5 and even? 5 is odd. If you observe, okay, I'm getting 5 is even, 5 is odd like that. But again, I'm trying to get exactly the same page. Yes or no? What if, if I keep this in comment, what is this method? Include method. I'm keeping this include in comment. Now let's see what happens. Okay, I'm just going to keep the factor in comment. Let me save it. Run as run on server. 5. I'm trying to get factorial. Factor is 120, but I'm not getting my index page again. Why? Because I am not including index page in the response. That is reason I'm unable to get that. But if I'm here, if I'm trying to select even, see again I'm able to execute now. Please respond, guys. That is include method. How include method will work. See, there is the difference here. Let me just try to stop my server. Okay. Now here I'm keeping this include method in comment. That is the reason that index.html page did not came, but here index.html came. As simple as this. Got it? Done? All right. Guys, tomorrow we'll be trying to write little bit lengthy notes related to JSP. Just little bit lengthy notes. But even before that, even before that, tomorrow I want to give a small task first. First, I want to give you a task. If you complete that, then we'll be trying to go with the notes. What do you say? Is that okay? Yes? Dot. That's it, guys. That's it for today. That's it for today. We'll be trying to continue the second way tomorrow. If anyone wants to take a pick, feel free to take a pick. Feel free. Sushant, feel free. You happily can ask, no problem. Sushant sir, why is server always starting with error? Red color lines does not mean error. Sushant, okay? Whenever looking at red color lines, please don't think like there is an error. That's the way how it's going to start. Error means your server will not start. Okay? If you're looking at red color, don't think that is an error. Right. And today we started from here, from line number 76, 76 to 81. Okay, I uploaded the notes also, today's notes. Feel free to check with that. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.